ITV, this coming Monday, will be celebrating their 70th birthday, their 70th anniversary of the network that introduced commercial television here in the UK and was also the company that began as a regional ITV, sort of basically regional type of television, was all under the name of ITV, which was obviously ITV stands for Independent Television, in case you didn't know that. So ITV is going to be celebrating their 70th birthday on Monday. Of course, earlier this year, I did put out a video kind of discussing what I think ITV should do for their 70th anniversary. One of those things I brought up was the fact that they should show off their, some of their best stuff from the archives as part of their, like an ITV 70s section on ITVX. Well, the good news is ITV have done exactly that. They have made a channel and a collection specifically for ITV 70. They've got a whole 24/7 channel repeating classic ITV, iconic ITV stuff from ITV's 70-year history, from the likes of Inspector Morse, Touch of Frost, a lot of dramas, Heartbeat, and I believe The Bill's in there. They've been trickling in a lot of dramas and entertainment and stuff. Has basically just been worth celebrating in the last 70 years. I believe it's a great start. The fact that they're acknowledging their 70-year heritage, really good thing to see. The fact that ITV are acknowledging the last 70 years of their existence. Now, I know there's going to be some who are going to be wondering where's the early stuff, like the 50s and 60s ITV stuff. Pretty sure ITV didn't really do as much in the 50s, really. They didn't really have a whole lot. I'm pretty sure they didn't have a whole lot. There is one show that I'm surprised isn't in there, Coronation Street. Coronation Street, I believe, should be there because it started in 1960, so therefore it should represent the 60s portion of ITV, considering it's one of their longest serving soaps, and it started in the 60s, and technically it should honour ITV's 60s portion of drama content. Basically remains in ITV, because I don't know if they've kept a lot of 60s programs. They may have junked quite a few of them. I think there's a majority they compared to the BBC, but they may have junked quite. Nevertheless, I think they should definitely, if they've got any remaining 60s stuff, I think they should definitely consider trying to upload as much as the 60s content that they can, because there are, it doesn't have to be drama. Many of the wildlife stuff that they've done, I guess comedies and stuff they've been able to kept in their archives over the years. It wouldn't hurt to show some 70th anniversary. It just gives people an opportunity to see black and white content from ITV, and I think that's very reasonable that people want to see what black and white content you produced back then. And I think, it'd be nice for a lot of people who are interested in TV history to see what that stuff was like, and whether that would introduce a new audience to today's TV audience, which I think it probably will if they were to add it to the service, which hopefully they are thinking about doing, because I think it'd be nice to see some more 60s content get added into the collection. Hopefully they're considering putting some in for the 70th anniversary. Please do, ITV. Now, like I said, very, very happy that they've done this. I think this is definitely a good thing. This is definitely one of the things I wanted to see happen. But I want to talk about some extra stuff I feel needs to be added to celebrate the 70th anniversary, because I've got 5 things essentially that I believe should also be added as part of the 70th anniversary collection, for ITV to basically just have a section on their website to celebrate these items that I'm about to discuss. So if you have any, and by the way, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. I think ITV needs to hear us. I like to be hopeful that ITV is going to be watching this, because I like to be hopeful that I can get this across to them, and maybe we might be able to make some miracle happen for their 70th anniversary. I think it'd be really cool to see a lot of these things happen during the week of your 70th anniversary, or maybe even the weekend if we're lucky. The first thing we have to acknowledge is regional ITV. I think it would be so good this weekend. I like to be hopeful that you'll consider this, ITV. I'm talking to the bosses, that is, that you're going to consider that at some point during the weekend, you're going to give us an opportunity to relive a nostalgia from the last 70 years. Wouldn't it be cool? and hear me out, guys. Wouldn't it be cool if ITV during the weekend, after in between programs, gave us the opportunity to see some of the many classic symbols of ITV's past, from Central, Narda, Anglia, Yorkshire. Yes, Tiny's Television Channel 8. I tried to do the quote, but hey. And then you've got many other regions, and then obviously you've got TVS, TSW television for the that represented the South, along with Meridian, and then you've got also television. I guess you could acknowledge Carton, even though Carton were very corporate, but I guess we'll celebrate their legacy, I suppose. Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if we saw those those iconic regional logos made a return for the weekend of ITV's, the weekend leading into ITV's 70th birthday? Wouldn't it be a great start to the week if we were to see those old make a return for a whole week, where you get to celebrate the classic style ITV that many of you wanting to see come back to our screens for the 70th anniversary? Wouldn't it be cool if we had the opportunity to render those intros from how, see HD versions of these symbols be shown to us on our television screens during the weekend? And even during that week, you get to see the Central logo in HD, Granada logo in HD, etc., etc. Just imagine how cool that would have been. How cool that would be to see all these old symbols making a return to celebrate this occasion, which I think be a really cool way. Now, there some people are going to say, because of regional ITV, maybe only make these symbols available in the regions they were from. So if that's the case, then that would mean that people in Wales would only get to see HTV for the whole of that week. But I feel like it's good, but it also limits the opportunity for other logos to be represented during the birthday, because it means that they would only be available in those specific regions, which would basically be annoying, because it would mean that will be annoying to some people because they would have to be in a certain region just to see a logo that they want to redeem. So I thought it would be a better idea if we didn't restrict, actually made it so that program there's a new logo for you to watch. I think that's a great idea, because then that way you're honoring the whole of the network and not just a specific region, the specific location you're in. I think that would make so much sense. And then obviously those logos would have an opportunity to appear nationwide. Very reasonable that we should be able to see them nationwide, especially considering they're very popular with a lot of TV fans who will remember many of these logos from, just bring back a bit of nostalgia to what ITV has been known for, bring back that sort of regional era of ITV. Many people say they miss, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, hey, I missed this era. I wish this era came back. Well, you'll have a chance to celebrate it for a whole week and get to celebrate these regional stations, that the symbol of ITV during the early days of the lifespan of ITV. And I think that would be really nice to see some of these logos return for the first time in years, I think, or maybe even since the 60th anniversary. They sort of did this sort of ITV style regional themed ident or trailer package that they did to celebrate ITV's 60th birthday. So it'd be nice to see them celebrate the actual logos this time around. Maybe put a section on the ITV website as a special gift for fans. You can allow fans to keep copies of their favorite ITV idents in video form and in a HD form, so that way you can keep your favorite ITV symbol as like a memory on your hard drive. And I think that would be really nice to see that. Or even do something a little fun where you let us create our own ITV regional logos or something, or create our own sort of intros for YouTube and stuff. I think that would be cool if ITV gave us the opportunity to make our own YouTube intros with some of our favorite ITV shows. Really cool for us to be able to do that as part of the ITV's birthday. I think that would be really cool if they had a website dedicated to that. Or even do like a really cool thing where you maybe are able to create some stuff on a website and then you show it off on the telly as part of the 70th birthday week, which I think would be really cool to honor your audiences throughout the week. I think that would be really so. Hopefully, the second thing I would like to see get added to the ITV 70th collection on ITVX, and I think it should definitely be on there. ITV, can we please have Michael Barrymore content on the service, please? I'm not being funny, but yes, I know you're still hesitant about whether to feature him or not, but love nothing more. If there was a way on ITVX for me to watch probably one of the shows I really want to see when it comes to Michael Barrymore, and that is My Kind of People. If you could make this show available to be streamed on ITVX, I promise you, I promise you, for your 70th birthday, I will do reaction videos of every single episode of this Michael Barrymore, My Kind of People, so we can have like a reaction series honoring this series from 1995. Because I think it would be really cool if we did like a reaction series to celebrate ITV's 70th birthday by reacting to a TV show that I remember from my childhood from 1995. I think Michael Barrymore's My Kind of People. I would love nothing more, see that on the network. And also, if you made it available on ITVX, trust me, you would have a new audience for this show. I think a lot of people would say that it's better. Once they see it, they'll probably think, this is a lot better than Britain's Got Talent. People would probably want to see more of it if they saw that. And I honestly believe, and I like to be home. And if you have seen Michael Barrymore's My Kind of People at the time, you'll probably know how funny and entertaining it was seeing Michael Barrymore laughing along with the participants, as well as them laughing to Michael Barrymore's silliness, which he just liked to have a little fun, from time to time. And it'd be just really cool to see this show get streamable on ITVX, and for me to relive the entire series of that program from 1995, where he's driving around to shopping centres across the nation, across the other Michael Barrymore game shows and stuff that he's done over the years. I honestly believe it's the right time for them to make this available, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure Michael Barrymore apologized for what he did. With him ITV's already accepted his apology by having him on This Morning a couple of times. You would think that because of that, now would be a good time to make his classic ITV shows available on ITVX, because you're in good terms with him. So if that's the case, then why don't you do that? Why don't you make Michael Barrymore's My Kind of People available, so then people can relive that nostalgia, that My Kind of People series, and get to relive some people who go on to have stardom in the future? That would be really cool, wouldn't it? To see some of these like ordinary people just showing off their talents, showing off their singing talents, showing their dance moves. Maybe some kids just having to say jokes to an audience. I think that deserves to be credited, and we will get to see that on ITVX. So I just beg you, ITV, I beg you to please make this available on ITVX for your 70th birthday, so that I can finally relive this show. I can finally do reactions videos of this show specifically, because I really want to just share memories of me, kind of relive those memories of when a very young me was watching this, and even watching the episodes set in the West Midlands, in the Berry Hill Shopping Centre, be able to relive that episode all over again years later. But if you don't want to put it on ITVX, then can I please recommend we have it out as a DVD release or a Blu-ray release at some? Because I honestly I would like to have a way for me to own these episodes somehow, whether it's through ITVX or whether it's through home media. Make it happen, please, ITV, because I would love nothing more for that to happen. And also, I'm actually kind of surprised you haven't added 321, because that should be on the ITV 70 collection, because, well, it's a popular game show. And there's probably many other ITV successful game shows from the past that should be on there, like classic episodes of You Bet, Family Fortune, classic episodes of You've Been Framed should be on there, and I'm sure and then you got Stars in Your Eyes with Matthew Perry. Why is that not there? That should be there. ITV's Gladiators, why is that not there? Because yes, I know BBC has the rights to the show, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to show ITV's Gladiators on your streaming platform. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that should be available, right? We should be able to have a way to watch classic episodes of Gladiators. Well, luckily there is some on YouTube. I think it would be really cool if ITV gave us a HD version of these classic Gladiators episodes from the 90s and be able to relive Gladiators from the early 90s would be really cool as we wait for the new episodes of Gladiators in the new year. I think that would be really, really cool. SMTV Live, I think that should definitely be on there. Why is it not there? It needs to be there. So please, for the love of God, make SMTV Live available. That was an amazing show. Why is it not there? ITV, what are you doing? And then on top of that, you've also got I think another thing that I think would be really cool, especially if we're going to be celebrating 70 years, I think it would be very reasonable. Classic daytime shows of ITV daytime. When I say classic daytime shows, I'm talking classic episodes of This Morning, GMTV, TVAM, and then and then we got the Jerry Springer show. I think they should definitely show classic episodes of that because ITV were the ones who were hosting the Jerry Springer show back in the day. So I think we should definitely see Jerry Springer classic talk show make an appearance on ITVX, considering he was a part of the 70 years of daytime programs on ITV. So I think they should definitely be adding a daytime section on the 70th collection where we celebrate daytime shows in the last 70 years, so that we should get to see more classic kids shows make an appearance. Shows like Jellikin, Riddlers, which mind you, the Riddlers is on premium, but I think a lot of the premium content stuff should be made free for ITV's 70th birthday. So I'm talking Todd's TV, Riddlers, Zap. Basically, a lot of the 70s kids shows and 80s kids shows that should definitely be honored as part of ITV's 70th and have a section dedicated to kids programs and classic kids programs where we get to see Riddlers get rerun, Rosie and Jim get rerun, along with Tots TV and many other kids shows from the past finally get a chance to rerun on ITVX for the first time since their original broadcast. I think that would be reasonable. Even show classic episodes of Art Attack, classic episodes of Sutty and Co., etc., etc. I think it definitely deserves to be made available for free for people who want to relive classic kids programs from their childhood. I think that would be really cool to have that option for ITV's 70th birthday. So hopefully there's going to be a way to see some of these be added to the system because I think it deserves to be acknowledged for the 70th birthday. I think some of these kids shows should be available to freely be streamed without worrying of a paywall, because I'm not being funny, but the fact that some of those kids shows are under a paywall is absolutely absurd. I think they need to bring them out of the paywall and make them available for people to watch for free for the 70th birthday. I think that will be a good customer friendly for ITV to make. So hopefully they are considering doing that, because I honestly believe it makes sense that they should be freely available for you to watch, and you shouldn't need to have to rely on premium, ITVX premium, just to watch these programs. So hopefully they're going to do that soon. I feel it would be really cool if there was I think this would be a really cool thing, but I think it'd be get the opportunity to, I think also, especially for Christmas, and I hope that ITV 70 will carry over into Christmas, I think they should definitely put a lot more archive Christmas content to celebrate its 70th birthday. So I'm talking Christmas specials, classic Christmas pantomimes with Coronation Street, etc. Be able to let people rewatch that. Many classic Christmas dramas that you've done in the past, I think that should be made available. Paul O'Grady stuff should be made available as a way to pay tributes to him and his legacy with ITV. Definitely be an opportunity for you to. There should definitely be a lot more archive Christmas specials getting added as part of the Christmas package on ITV for the 70th. I think ITV 70th, I think they should definitely have a Christmas section during Christmas where they bring Christmas specials out of the archives and onto ITVX, which I think will be really cool to see more Christmas specials from the past made widely available thanks to ITVX, which I think would be a beautiful way to celebrate ITV's 70 years Christmases and so many great specials that they've done over the years. Be a really nice way to celebrate in those last few years. It'd be really cool. Obviously, there needs to be another 70th ITV documentary. The only documentary we have for ITV 70 is the ITV News at 70, which is, it's all great and all, but at the same time, having a documentary dedicated, I don't think that there's a whole lot more than just ITV News when it comes to ITV. Think about it. They are a commercial TV broadcaster, so acknowledging a history where you were responsible for allowing many of the top brands to promote their product to television so that way it draws more sales. I think that should definitely be honoured in a documentary. Contributed in helping small businesses their foot out the door and into the market. I think that should be honoured. The fact that ITV was responsible for making Ant and Dec a successful presenter duo, the likes of SMTV Live, Saturday Night Takeaway, many other, and also I'm Celebrity, making them a household name on ITV. The fact that ITV brought these boys into their wing and made them into true presenters kind of shows how much of a commitment Ant and Dec have had with ITV over the years. The fact looked up to ITV for many years and they haven't looked back since kind of shows that, they see ITV as a family. Ant and Dec should be acknowledged, should be honouring ITV for the amount of stuff they've done for them over the years. And I think that should definitely be praised. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully we're going to see another ITV 70th documentary. Doubt it's going to be for ITV's 70th birthday. I like to be hopeful that by Christmas we will get another documentary looking at the history of ITV when it comes to commercial television, being responsible for the rise of many other contributions that ITV did, from Text Santa when they did their sort of first ever Christmas charity campaign. Personally think Text Santa should be made available on ITVX. So hopefully when Christmas comes around, hopefully Text Santa does gets honoured on ITVX. I think it deserves to be remembered for those who want to remember the Text Santa days of ITV. Another documentary celebrating ITV's 70th history, looking back at regional TV, commercial TV, the rise of Ant and Dec and many other mega stars through ITV. Definitely be honoured in a documentary at some point, and I hope ITV are planning another documentary, because there should definitely be a documentary for the network as a whole. Basically, how far they've the last 70 years. I think that should definitely. I personally think they should also definitely show classics. Definitely when it comes to ad breaks, I think we should definitely see during the 70th anniversary where you show the past advert, well, the very first advert for the brand and the current advert for the brand. Have an opportunity to honor classic adverts from the past, as when it comes to all our favorite brands. Show their old adverts and then show their newer one as a way to celebrate 70 years of ITV. I think that would be really cool to have the opportunity to relive classic adverts to show how commercial TV has come in the last 70 years. You'll see a massive difference between black and white adverts to today, and see how much advertising has been 70 years on ITV. And I think ITV should definitely show the growth of their commercials during their celebration. Five things that should be added to the ITV 70th collection, as well as their birthday week, and things that should be happening for their birthday celebration. So hopefully ITV will take this stuff in, and hopefully we're going to see a lot of this stuff be made available during your birthday week. So please let it happen, and let's celebrate ITV's 70th birthday in the way that the fans would like it to be celebrated, by looking back at some of the moments of your past, and even show that's how I like to hope that we're going to see some of these things, hopefully some of these things within the next week, as a way to, and I will catch you all in my upcoming Who Universe review when we look back at Series 5 and Series 6.